Hey, I'm Logan.
And I'm Alyssa.
And this is Marketer's Cut, a podcast where we talk about movie marketing and movies and marketing.
Yeah.
This week we're talking about a fun one.
Disney-Pixar's Luca.
Yes, thank you. Thank
You're
you for
welcome.
that. So what we're talking about this week, it's an interesting release, as we'll get into. Most of our listeners, most likely, did not catch this one in theaters. If you did, thank you for listening from another country. It means a lot to us. Are you ready to get into the nitty-gritty?
Yeah, I wrote the nitty-gritty this time, so...
Yeah.
Are you ready to get into it? Because you're learning it now for the first time.
Sure. Cool. So, Luca, this is the newest Pixar film. It dropped on Disney Plus on June 18th, 2021. It was originally slated for that date in theaters. And then in March, they announced that it moved to Disney Plus. It would release on the same day, but only come out on Disney Plus. And, the reasoning was due to COVID, but Disney is still releasing movies on Disney Plus and in theaters.
Yeah, just like Cruella.
Cruella.
That came out a couple months ago.
Yeah, and Black Widow is another one that is Disney Plus and in theaters. So why they chose to not put this one in theaters and in places where Disney Plus exists, it's confusing to me. And the only explanation I have for it is that Disney is experimenting. I don't know. What do you think? Do you have any thoughts on it?
I do think it's weird. What do you think? What do you think they're exactly experimenting with?
Well, so their first premiere access film was Mulan, which was, I believe, September of last year. Obviously, theaters were barely open. Tenet had just come out in theaters at that time, and massively underperformed, and kind of proved that theaters weren't ready to come back full strength. So Disney gave Mulan a Disney Plus premiere access release. Now, all those numbers are private, confidential. Disney didn't release them, so we don't really know how well it did. We do know that the next big film that came out on Disney Plus was Soul on Christmas Day, and that was a Disney Plus, not premiere access. It was just on Disney Plus. Mm-hmm. So it was already weird that they kind of switched that. It made you think that premiere access was a failure for Disney. And okay, cool. They acknowledged that it doesn't work. They did something different. Do you remember what the next big Disney film to come out after that was?
The one I can think of is Cruella, but
Raya.
Raya. Oh,
Raya
yeah.
and the Last Dragon, and that went back to the Disney Plus premiere access and theater model. Mm-hmm. Which I always thought was interesting, because why do Soul? It feels like they're experimenting. Each release is a different thing. Mm-hmm. So then Cruella stuck with the Raya plan. But shortly after Raya came out, or right around the same time, is when they announced that Luca was just going straight to Disney Plus. So again, maybe they're trying to say, hey, how does this maybe affect Disney Plus subscriptions if we don't put it out in theaters at all? But I don't think that Disney has enough data to know 100% what works yet. So the only explanation is it's an experiment.
Just seeing what happens. With both Pixar movies, they put the movies on there for free. That's something to know. But then Soul also was out in theaters.
That's true. And maybe it is a Pixar thing. Maybe something, Pixar is owned by Disney, but Pixar does have its own leadership team. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's something that they are pushing. They don't want to add that premium premiere access, that extra charge for a Pixar film. Possibly. And I would say another thing too is that Soul and Luca are new ideas. They're original films. They're not based on anything else. They're not a sequel. So maybe you want to build that fan base for those films, and then Luca too. Although I don't think this is the kind of movie that'll get a sequel, or Soul, but maybe their idea was that because they don't have that built-in fan base already, then do it for free. But for things like Cruella and Mulan, charge that premiere access.
Okay, but why Raya?
Exactly. Then you kind of lose it when you get there. Mm-hmm. So it's a very interesting choice. Don't completely understand it yet, but I don't think Disney understands it yet. I think they're just They're just effing around, seeing what lands.
Yeah.
Either way, a little disappointing because I think Luca's beautiful and will look great on the big screen. But that's besides the point. So, this was directed by Enrico Casarosa. Should I try to say that with the Italian accent?
Nope. Don't.
Okay.
I can see you trying to do it. Don't do it.
And here's the synopsis from IMDb. On the Italian Riviera, an unlikely but strong friendship grows between a human being and a sea monster disguised as a human. Immediate thoughts on that synopsis? Is it correct or incorrect?
Well, I guess if it's about the girl.
Maybe, but then it's not a sea. It grows between a human being and two sea monsters disguised as a human.
Yeah, but his relationship with the girl is much stronger. But also, yeah, I don't feel you're right. Something's not right about it. Something's not
odd.
right.
Yeah, no. Okay, let's move on. Budget for this film, not quite certain what it is. Now, it's box office opening weekend. We did mention that it came out in theaters in countries without Disney+. It made a whopping $5 million in those territories.
Internationally.
Yep. It made a whopping, I don't know, in the U.S. Rotten Tomatoes score. Let's talk about that now. So this film had an 89% critic score and an 87% audience score. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's not phenomenal. You know, you see a lot of films, a lot of Pixar films, like you kind of see in the 90s. Mm-hmm. Maybe not as much recently, but you kind of expect them to be in the 90s. So to fall down into the 80s is maybe a little bit less than what they expected, but 89, 87 is not bad. It's not even not bad.
I don't know if it's something they did not expect because of the marketing.
Yeah.
But I think it's a fair score.
Yeah.
Scores.
No, it's fair.
Multiple scores.
Cool.
Not cool. Not cool. Maybe one cool?
Warm.
Worse.
Let's talk about the trailer now. What are your thoughts on the trailer?
I don't know. I thought it was fine.
Okay.
I didn't think it was anything crazy. I really honestly, I don't know. I don't know about it. You tell me what you think.
I like Pixar films, as do you. So when a trailer for a new Pixar film comes out, I'm like, oh, that looks awesome. Luca didn't really have me excited for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. Don't know why. It looks beautiful. In the trailer, in the film, it looks absolutely amazing. But, you know, I think I'm kind of past the phase where, like, this almost photorealistic animation, like, is what I watch movies for.
Yeah.
And I say I'm past the phase, but I think just, like, we, as a whole, as a collective film-going society, are possibly past that phase. Maybe that's not true. It probably isn't true. And that's what the case seems to be for me. Because things like the Mitchells versus the Machines, Into the Spider-Verse, like, they're extremely interesting what they're trying to do. Mm-hmm. There's even, like, dream sequences in this film that are extremely interesting on what they do. But, like, the main style is just Pixar. So I kind of felt the same way. Just a little bit meh about it.
Yeah.
The poster, I mean, it's kind of the same. Like, beautiful colors. I kind of like the way it's framed.
I like looking at it afterwards and being like, oh yeah, I get all of these things. I understand them and the relationships between things, because after looking at it, finding this poster, I was like, this is nice. It's just, like, nice. You see the dad back there. You see the cat with his fucking mustache. So good. Half of them are underwater and they're monsters. The top half is not monsters. I feel like it really gives you the full picture, but you don't know that until after you see the movie.
I feel you.
It's nothing, it doesn't blow my mind away. I'm not like, oh my god, this is the most amazing poster, but I enjoy it after seeing the film.
I don't disagree.
Great.
I don't disagree. So let's get more into, like, the nitty gritty of the marketing now. This film had a slow rollout in its announcement, to say the least, I guess. So in November 2020, there was some concept art and such shown during the Disney Plus documentary series Inside Pixar. That was before we knew anything like official about the movie. But, they showed it there, so it's like, oh, hey, this is coming. Mm-hmm. A month later on Disney Investor Day, which was a big day for Star Wars, for Marvel, and also for Pixar, it seems. Some of the film was officially shown. That's great. Then about a month later, on January 18th, the Empire magazine released the first official image. A day later, a promotional still was released on the cover of an Italian magazine named Il Venerdì Repubblica.
I think that's a really cool marketing thing. I don't think they push things enough, but to put it on the front cover of like an Italian magazine, it's kind of cool.
No, I think it's cool. And it featured the main characters and a Vespa.
Love that.
In March, though, this is 2 months after kind of the last big thing about it, it was announced the film would skip theaters and go straight to Disney+. Again, kind of a big deal. Don't know why. We didn't know why they're doing it. Still don't know why. We fast forward a bit. There was a blue carpet premiere. I guess blue because the ocean.
Yeah, who else did a blue carpet premiere? Do you remember?
Oh, man. Was it another ocean movie?
I can't remember, but I saw that. I said, oh, goddamn, the blue carpet again.
Jimmy Buffett. For the Margaritaville musical, did a blue carpet.
Oh, my God.
Right? Is that what you're thinking of?
That might have been it. I thought it was a film we did, but that did also happen.
There definitely was a Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville musical blue carpet premiere.
I do, yes. Yes.
Moving on. There was also a series of books released on May 14th of this year. Funko produced a line of Funko Pops. Mattel produced a line of action figures and toy packs. Now, weirdly enough, the Mattel line of action figures and toy packs are not set to be released until July 1st, 2 weeks after the movie came out.
It is interesting.
It was a little late.
Yeah.
Like they just missed the bus a little bit. They're not even like running after the bus, asking for it to stop. They just kind of just missed it altogether, you know? Mm-hmm. And it was the last bus of the night. They're stuck at the bus stop. They're like, damn, what do I do with all my action figures?
Okay, all right.
You want me to keep going on the bus stop
metaphor? just tell me more about the marketing.
McDonald's, everyone's favorite fine dining restaurant of burgers, did some Luca Happy Meal toys. This is boring. I'm going to talk about this soon. I'm going to keep going until there's a lot of boring stuff, and there's one thing that's not boring. They also did some featurettes with like the voice cast of the film, talking about different things. So one was a friendship featurette, and it had Jim Gaffigan, Maya Rudolph, Casarosa talking about the magical nature of friendships at a certain age. And there was another one that focused on like the research that went into creating an authentic Italian coastal town.
I think those ideas are also interesting because I feel like those are ideas we say. We're like, hey, what if you did something like this?
Kind of. Yes, kind of. But also, everything we just said, except for maybe the blue carpet premiere, although it was done by Jimmy Buffett before, everything we just said is like the most basic thing that an animated movie could do.
That's true. Like. That's true.
Like, we're talking about, they released some of the film on Disney Investor Day. Empire released the first official image. Like, I don't know how this works. I should learn more about it. How does Empire always get the first images?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe people are watching out every day. They're like, man, hope someone releases the first image on this Empire magazine. And they're known for that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot. Maybe the Italian magazine is like kind of interesting, but I don't feel like it moves the needle a lot because let's be real. Who actually lives in Italy?
Okay. Well, you can't say that. I agree it doesn't move the needle a lot. I like the concept of the idea. And if you're in Italy, you're like, oh, this is so fucking cool. Like, Pixar's doing a movie about, like, based in Italy.
Yeah, like the whopping 3 people in Italy that aren't tourists.
Oh, my God. Please stop. Italians are not going to like our podcast.
That's true. But hey.
Don't say anything else, please.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to do the Italian hand.
Nope.
And I get it can't be seen on the podcast because we're an audio medium, but
he's doing it just so everyone knows. Okay, keep going.
Featurettes too. Like every film like this does a featurette, and there's one featurette about the themes of the film, and there's one about how much work went into making the film. And I just feel like it's so generic. I mean, it's cool to an extent, but it's very generic in my opinion. They released a full clip of the film in early June. Also, nothing special. Like it's like they sat down around this table and they're like, "Hey, how should we market this film?" And they're like, "I don't know." Disney said just to fucking throw it on Disney Plus. Like, I guess we should do a featurette. You know? Like, maybe release a whole scene from the movie a little early. Just maybe do that. I don't feel like anyone actually got their heart behind it. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
We talk about are we ready to start to get into the weird stuff?
I'm waiting.
Okay, so the website. We're going to start with the website. Website is kind of like the bare minimum. Not much on it. There's some social profiles on it. Social accounts are also kind of doing the bare minimum. They're not posting anything interesting. They're just like posters. Here's a clip from the movie. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the website does list a number of promotional links to things they're doing. A lot of them don't work, I guess. A lot of the links are broken. That's a no-no. As someone who works in marketing, that's one of those things that you're like, maybe I shouldn't do that. But here's some of the promotional things. Blue Apron. Everyone knows Blue Apron. Like, maybe one day they'll sponsor this podcast because they sponsor every other fucking podcast and they haven't called me yet.
Did you ask them to call you?
No, but send me some Blue Apron so I can talk good about it on the show.
You really would actually love Blue Apron.
I want it so bad, but I'm not paying for it.
I know.
Unless they send it to me so they can prove its value. Blue Apron, call me, please. Annie's, which I don't know why when I read this earlier I thought it was the pretzel place, but it's Annie. This is Annie's, not Auntie Anne's. So it's not the pretzel place. Bobbles and Soul. This is a company that frequently promoted the movie on Instagram. We talked about McDonald's and their iconic Happy Meal boxes. Here's where it gets weird. The Watermelon Board. Okay, that's BOARD, the Watermelon Board. The Board of Watermelon. Created a campaign encouraging people to enjoy their summer with some cool, refreshing watermelon.
And this is on watermelon.org.
Yes, it's on watermelon.org. I looked into this a little bit because I was very confused. I was like, one, the .org thing implies that it's somewhat of a nonprofit, So why does watermelon need a nonprofit? And, I'm reading this. Alyssa's beside me. I'm like, okay, let me back up a little bit. On their website, there is a little Pixar 15-second featurette that shows the Pixar characters, Luca and company, eating watermelon.
Oh, yeah, and in the trailer you see the one part where the kids are also eating watermelon.
Yeah. And watermelon's not a big part of this movie.
Yeah.
It's not at all. So there's this weird thing where they created footage of them eating watermelon. And they're encouraging people to enjoy their summer with some cool, refreshing watermelon. So Alyssa's sitting beside me, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Is Big Watermelon using Disney-Pixar's Luca to indoctrinate the masses on the cool, refreshing benefits of watermelon? And listen to my lisp as I say listen. You go to their About page, it says, representing 800 watermelon growers, shippers, and importers nationwide, our goal is to promote the nutritional, culinary, and convenience benefits of watermelon. #watermelon every day. It's fucking Big Watermelon. Big Watermelon is using Luca to market, and Luca is using Big Watermelon to market. This is a dystopia. We're not getting there. We're not at the first steps. We're in a dystopia. Thoughts?
I don't know what you want me to say. You're very worked up about the watermelon.
No. I'm very worked up about, quote, Big Watermelon, unquote. I feel betrayed. I feel lied to. I did watch the little 15-second thing before I learned it was actually Big Watermelon and wanted to buy some watermelon. I went to the grocery store after watching it, literally almost bought a watermelon.
Did you really?
I did. I almost did. And I said, I will not let Big Watermelon control me like this. So I think worked up is unfair. I am justly angry.
Okay.
Okay. Your thoughts?
I don't have any thoughts on Big Watermelon. I just don't have any. I don't know why they decided to do that. I'm also confused, but obviously they did okay because you then wanted to buy watermelon.
But I'm so disappointed in you. Another thing on this is, 2 winners will be... You can fill out a form on bigwatermelon.org.
It's not called Big Watermelon.
Do you think... Let's see. Bigwatermelon.org. Oh.
Server can't find.
Yeah, I don't think anyone owns the domain. I might be able to buy bigwatermelon.org.
And what are you going to do with it?
People will go thinking like, oh, let me go support Big Watermelon.
Nobody's
and then I'll have
look
anti-Big Watermelon propaganda.
Nobody's going to look up Big Watermelon.
Okay. Okay.
Unless they're looking up a very large watermelon.
I can also just have a picture of it. Have any big watermelons? Send us a picture this week and you might get featured on our new website, bigwatermelon.org. Okay. So, anyways, you can fill out a form, and 2 winners are being drawn weekly, and each will win Disney-Pixar Luca gear plus watermelon swag. And one lucky final winner will receive an unforgettable movie night prize pack that includes an outdoor movie projector screen, popcorn maker, a watermelon slicer, and a blend jet.
Well, how many people do you think are entering this contest? Maybe we should be doing it every week.
I mean, we probably should. I want an outdoor movie projector. And part of the reason I didn't buy the watermelon is because I thought in my head, how am I going to cut that easily? Don't want to deal with that. So a watermelon slicer would also help my woes.
Okay, all right.
Okay, let's talk about our own ideas now. I have one. Ready?
No, but go for it.
Okay, I personally love pineapple. I would think we should get Big Pineapple behind this film.
How would you... Well, they already have Big Watermelon.
Well, yeah, but if Big Pineapple offers enough money, Luca's not going to say no. And I don't think that Big Watermelon, drawing up the contract, was like, can't let any... And no other fruits can be in this film.
They might have.
I just think that... I mean, we are in a dystopia, but I think it's a little bit too dystopian for where we're at the moment. So I want to get Big Pineapple up in here. Because if there's any big fruit, if there's any quote-unquote big that I'm going to support, it's Big Pineapple. So, cool. What are your ideas?
Okay, so my ideas are, I don't know where, definitely Italy, but maybe other places, because you're like...
Italy's great because you don't have to worry about, like, cleaning up, you don't have to worry about getting people off the streets. Like, no one lives there.
Then you're saying that. So in different places, they should have... Okay, actually, I should change my idea, but not really. In the water, in the ocean, they should have, like almost like the Loch Ness Monster, but of the backs or something and the tails of the monsters in Luca. But there can only be one Luca, and one of his Alfonso, is that his name?
I think so.
Something like that, and one of the mom and one of the dad, but in different places, at different places across the U.S. And then people are like, whoa, and then eventually everyone can find them all and post pictures of them. And it's also cool because they're these little colorful creatures. It'd be cool, oh, they're in there, like the Loch Ness Monster. It's kind of a cool idea.
Do you know those little model car things that you can buy at the store? You kind of put them together, and sometimes you can paint them and everything. They're real cars. You buy these little kits. You put them together. Okay. I used to do them with my grandpa. Mm-hmm. They're really cool. Mm-hmm. Well, get one and let kids put together the shitty Vespa that they built. That'd be great. Or make it like a Nintendo Labo type thing. They get some cardboard, they build this whole ass Vespa, and it can physically support their weight, and they can try to ride it.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what if Vespa decided to team up? Mm-hmm. They should have. And then...
it's very possible that Vespa paid Pixar for the positive... I mean, the entire goal of the characters in this film...
is to get the Vespa. Well, I think it'd be cool if Vespa was like, hey, look, and they have like different models, like one of Luca and one of Alfonso, and they're like the colors of their monsters, and they're like, it's like a shiny, shimmery, and it's like as the light hits it, the colors change some. So it's like the blue, green, and then it's also like the purple. I can't remember what its other color was. Vespas. That'd be pretty cool.
That would be. We're living in a world where maybe if Big Watermelon had paid them just a little bit more money,
oh my god,
the entire film could have been about them trying to get the big town watermelon instead of a Vespa. You know.
Well, what if the dad instead was like a watermelon farmer?
It's possible. Where do watermelons grow?
I don't know.
Like what climates?
I don't know. Maybe after.
Big Watermelon doesn't want you to know these answers. They want you just to keep going to the grocery store and buy watermelon.
I just want to cut off the podcast. I just want to cut it off.
I'm just saying, guys, keep your eyes open. Don't sleep on Big Watermelon. They will underestimate you, and yeah, it's a worry to have. I have a really cool idea. Do you want to hear my really cool real idea?
Yeah, I would love to hear it.
Okay, so TikTok's popping. It's always popping.
Uh-huh.
All right. You know who pops on TikTok sometimes?
Oh my god!
Aquariums.
Wow.
What were you going to say?
The man who is always in powder and is
the big watermelon. If you guys have been on TikTok and you scroll, you may sometimes see the live feed of the guy covered in baby powder putting rubber bands around a watermelon until I guess it explodes.
He's also wearing goggles.
He's wearing goggles for safety. For safety.
And
it's a liability issue.
He has like these ponytails that are sticking up and out to the side. Almost every time I'm on TikTok, I see him, a live of him doing it. I don't know what else he does.
It's big watermelon.
Well, sometimes he also does like milk and stuff. But it's a lot of watermelon, yes.
Look, there's a non-zero chance that Big Watermelon is paying this guy to do the watermelon things, and I need to find the link. It's out there somewhere.
What link?
There's like a link between TikTok watermelon guy and Big Watermelon.
Like an internet link. Okay, so tell me about, you're on there and you see aquariums. Tell me about the aquariums.
I mean, I am done talking about how Big Watermelon is literally behind everything. But, okay. Aquariums, they're popping on TikTok. They make some great TikTok content. Let's be real. Everyone loves your big old fishes.
Yeah, I do too.
And your sea lions. I think you just get some nice. You partner with an aquarium, a big aquarium. The Georgia Aquarium is like the largest aquarium in the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah.
So you partner with an aquarium like that. You take some high quality video of the tanks,
yeah,
where people are, but then you have some special effects people go in and put Luca and Alfonso.
That's what I was thinking. Like the big whale shark tank, you get to see Tank the sea turtle, you get to see the rays, the manta rays, and then just every once in a while you just see Luca swimming around.
Yeah, just like on the TikTok, they're just posting their TikToks, and it's like.
Or it could even be like a live. It could be like a.
Well, live is tough, but.
Well, okay. Well, if they could pre-record the live and then put it on there, but obviously they can't. Or they could make it seem fake, and they could put it on Instagram instead, and be like, "Look, we saw Luca during our live on TikTok." And they like fake a live and put it on Instagram. Oh,
that's a lot. That's many layers deep.
Yeah.
Much like how Big Watermelon operates in the country.
Nope.
Cool. Are we done?
Yeah.
Okay. Keep an eye out for the research that I'll be doing on Big Watermelon in the future. This sentence says the National Watermelon Promotion Board operates with a single objective: to increase consumer demand for watermelon through promotion, research, and educational programs. It's so evil. You don't need to increase consumer demand. People just love watermelon. Okay.
Thanks for listening to our episode. You can find us on, we have a website, marketerscut.com. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at marketerscut. Thanks, Jacob Wall, first art. You can find him at Jacob Art Wall on Instagram. And I don't want to say anything else about watermelon. Just finish up. What else do we say? Don't say anything about watermelon.
Okay. No, the next thing I wanted to say is what we're going to be doing next week. Do you know what we're doing next week?
No. I forgot.
Okay, well, let's talk about what we're doing next week. It looks like next week, what is today's date, the 25th? It looks like next week might be F9 if we're able to make it to theaters to see Fast and Furious 9. So that's a fun one. We got to make it to a theater this weekend to see that.
Yep, so fun. I love just seeing that bald man.
Sorry, what's the bald man's name?
He pisses gas, I think.
Okay. Okay, we're ending this now. And the last thought that I want to leave in your head to get that one out. No, last thought is, do you not think, are you walking out of the room?
I'm leaving.
Okay. Well, it is a little bit of a coincidence, or is it, that Vin Diesel's head is very bald and smooth like a watermelon?
No.
Just a little bit. She's out of the room now. I'm free to say whatever I want. Big watermelon, I'm coming for you. All right? So watch out.